Hello, this is Afol Elbanson and welcome to the Young Achievers Network. I trust that you are taking very good care of yourself and you are moving your life forward towards the direction that you want to move. Today we are looking at the power of potential. The power of potential. The greatest power hidden within every human being is potential. There are many powers hidden within every human being. Some of the powers have been discovered, but the greatest power hidden within every human being is potential. It is an amazing power that is hidden from the human eye until it is manifest through works. Potential is always hidden from the human eye, but it is works that manifest it. And there is no human being who is empty of potential. Every single human being, including the cripple, the lame, the blind, the deaf, the quadriplegic, every human being is full of potential. The person who is bedridden is full of potential. Every human being on the planet, the baby that is 3 months old in the womb, is full of potential. Your 6-month-old baby is full of potential. Whenever a person dies, they take the potential they have to the grave. And so you might release some potential, or you might release a lot of potential. But whenever you die, you take the remainder of your potential to the grave. It is therefore important that we make sure that we release as much of our potential as possible. The graveyard is the richest place on the planet. It is a place rich with the potential of billions of people. The graveyard has become so rich because people have taken to the graveyard businesses, paintings, songs, poems, artworks, sculptures, music, movies, inventions, discoveries, recitals, instruments, equipments, tools, mathematical formulas, scientific formulas. They have all been taken to the grave, and therefore the graveyard has become the richest place on the planet. If anyone could mine the potential within the graveyard, that person would become the wealthiest person in the world. If someone could find a way to unearth the potential buried in the graveyard, that person would become the wealthiest person in the world. Anyone who values people gains access to the potential that they carry. And so when you value your child, you will have access to the potential your child carries. In fact, you will help your child unearth their potential. If you value your employees, you will access their potential. This is something many employers don't understand. If you value your players as a coach, you will gain access to their potential. What is potential? Number one, it is untapped power. It is power that you have, but you have not yet tapped into. Potential is unused ability. It is ability that you have, but you have not yet used. Potential is unachieved success. It is success that you can achieve, but have not yet achieved. And potential is capped capacity. what you have the capacity to release, but you have covered it. That is potential. And every human being has it. Every human being. So why do people fail to release their potential? Why are people full of power, full of success, full of ability, full of power and skill and capacity, fail to release it? Here are a couple of reasons. Number one, upbringing. Some people have been brought up in a way that they have been always talked down to. You are dumb, you are stupid, you are worthless, you will never be any good. No one is ever going to like you. No one is ever going to appreciate you. You are the biggest mistake I have ever made. You are worthless and you are useless. You will be nothing. And when you talk to a child over and over and over and over and over, they begin to accept that they are worthless and useless. Even though someone might have spoken to you like this, I encourage you, keep listening to my podcast over and over. Listen to all the podcasts I have posted and build yourself up. Build your self-esteem. You are worth something. They may have brought you up in a bad way, but you can bring yourself up the rest of the way in a good way. Your parents were your first people who took care of you. But you must not take care of yourself. Some people are terrible at being parents, and you must learn to forgive them for being terrible parents. But now, your life is in your hands. Take good care of yourself. Bring yourself up. Someone brought you up from childhood, but you must now bring yourself up. You don't belong in the pit. Don't let people's negative things and negative words that they put on you keep you down. Number two, low self-esteem. You don't have a good esteem of yourself. You look down on yourself. Your self-esteem is so low, maybe because you have had so many failures in life. Maybe because you've had a divorce, a disappointment, a business that went broke. You lost so much money. You lost other people's investments. You lost a child. You lost your husband. You lost a life. You spent 30 years living a worthless life. And so you look down on yourself and ask yourself, what can I do? Is there something that I can do with this life? So you have a low self-esteem. Listen, no matter how low your self-esteem is, your self-esteem is not zero. You can bring it up. You can make something of yourself. You can make something of yourself. Let me tell you the story of a man. He worked in the US Army, served there for many years, went on retirement. He had honorable discharge as a colonel. And when he received his first social security check, he was so disappointed at how low his life had come. Was this how he was going to spend the rest of his life? At age 65, what could he do? Then he had an idea. He took this idea and went from place to place, looking for someone who would buy into the idea. He knocked on one door, then the second door, went to the third place, the fourth place, the fifth place. Everyone said no. The 100th place, they said no. He kept on moving, kept on moving, kept on moving. He would sleep in his car. He would buy food from restaurants or any food joint and eat, but he continued moving. Knocked on the 800th door. The answer was still no. For years he traveled the road. This old man in his 60s. Then he knocked on the 1009th door. A small restaurant said, Mr. Sanders, we will take your chicken recipe and we'll put it on our menu. And anyone who orders it will give you commission. And that was the birth of KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. He did not look down on himself. He made something of his life. From the age 65, with a pittance for Social Security, Colonel Sanders died a millionaire. You too can make something of your life. The third reason people fail to release their potential is the lack of exposure. Either it is through education or exposure through training, but they don't get exposure. Their lives are so limited. They think that the whole world is that village they live in, or the town of Takoradi, or Nima, that place of Nima, or Accra, or Kumasi, or the thing that place in Holland or Germany. They think that because their country in the Ukraine is being attacked by Russia, that is what their life is all about. No, your life is more than that. You may have a lack of exposure. You may have a lack of education. You may have a lack of training. But your life is more than that. There are people with just high school education and they have made so much of their life. There are people with no university education and they have made so much of their life. Just because you lack exposure does not mean you are stupid. It does not mean you are unintelligent. If you lack exposure, get exposure. Once you discover your purpose, go to YouTube, find videos of people who are pursuing that purpose, who are doing what you want to do. What is it that you love to do? Go and get videos of it. Watch people who are doing it. Find out training, free training online that you can get involved in and start developing yourself. Get exposure. And when you get exposure, you will excel. When I wanted to become a motivational speaker, I got exposure. I listened to Dr. Miles Monroe, listened to Les Brown, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, Dr. John C. Maxwell, Earl Nightingale, Og Mandino, and so many others. Listened to them, read their books. And now here I am, encouraging people, motivating people. The next point, or the fourth point, societal conditioning and limitations. The society you live in can limit your exposure in life. The society you live in can make you so negative that you feel that there's nothing you can do. When you live in a society where the average teenager is pregnant, you will think that there's nothing meaningful in life and that getting pregnant is your aim. Societal conditioning and limitations hinder people from releasing their potential. When you live in a society where everybody is going to university and you do not get the opportunity, you are tempted to think that without university, your life is meaningless, and that is not true. When you live in a society where people think that just because you are divorced or you don't have a child or you don't have college education, you are meaningless or you are worthless, you are tempted to think that that is true, but that is so untrue. Listen, your society might influence you, but use that influence to build yourself up. Use that negativity to build yourself up. Use that disappointment to raise yourself from a lower state. Don't let your society define you. I lived in 2nd D, Brown Avenue, Bacano, for 9 years. The negativity, the stupid statements people will make. Imagine living in London with your parents, and then your father says, Afro, let's go to Ghana for holidays. And then he leaves you here, abandons you here. And you discover that all these years you have spent in London, he had never registered you as a British citizen. And so you try to get back to London and you are denied a visa. What do? Do you become a recluse? Do you recline yourself to smoking weed and living your life anyhow? No, I chose the higher path to make something of myself. And now that same man, my father, looks at me with pride that I made something of myself. I could have spent my whole life blaming him. I have a brother, an elder brother. He's had so many challenges in life, has been in and out of prison, but now he's a chief. Never let your past tell you what your future is going to be like. Your past is only a reflection of your past intelligence and the choices you made. Your future is yet to be a reality, and you can make choices that will take you there. Number 5, lack of self-confidence. Some people do not release their potential because they lack self-confidence. You must have confidence in yourself. You are full of ability. You are full of power. You are full of potential. You have skills. You have talents. You have wisdom, intelligence, knowledge that people have not seen. And you must bring it out. Determine this year to do something. This year, one of the things I've determined is to release at least one of my 3 books. This year, I'm going to be doing stuff. And the stuff I'm going to be doing is hard. And it's not a matter of getting it popular where 10,000 people are buying the books. No, get it out so that those who need it can have it. You too have potential. And I urge you, don't go to the grave with your potential. I need it. Someone needs it. The world needs it. This has been Aful El Bansan on the Young Achievers Network. Sayonara.